tell us what it's like to be CMO of one of the world's best known internet brands.
I feel extremely privileged. One, because it's a 22-year-old brand that really set the mark on so many levels. One, being the original marketplace that so many people now are craving to be. And two, also a mobile innovator. So it's super exciting. It also is it's a lot of pressure.
What partners really contribute meaningfully to help you get through some of those challenges?
The challenge that you have when you're sitting in my shoes is that everybody has something to sell you, and everybody has the best whatever, and yet at the core, really all of it can be pretty much look the same. And if you don't come in and show your point of difference and what stands out, whatever that secret sauce may be, how are you, what are you really going to be able to provide to us that's going to be uniquely different than the next person? I think that's the first thing. The second thing, which is, don't sell me what you're going to sell everybody else, meaning make sure you understand my business first, and then be sure you're coming in to build a solution that actually is answering a business problem for eBay, not for eBay or insert here. It's got to be personalized. It's got to be very relevant for what business challenges I have.
Well, so tell us what the eBay mobile experience is like this year and maybe into next year.
We're facing the challenge of, is it the mobile web experience, that we can enhance and enrich, and from a product perspective, make sure that experience, that shopping experience is as dynamic as it possibly can be, at the same time as balancing our app and our native experience. And I think there's a lot of companies that struggle with, they're going to put all of their eggs in kind of that native and their app experience and miss the fact that there's a whole audience out there that is not willing to take up the real estate on the desktop of their phone to put that app. And really, if you think about it, the apps that are there are the ones that are really the functional apps, the only way at which you can actually make it's a functional nature, not necessarily all the time a shopping behavior or exploring behavior. So we're constantly fighting with this dilemma of our mobile web experience being just as wonderful and brilliant as a desktop experience can be, or as our native app can be.
Do you feel like a chief technical officer some days instead of a chief marketing officer?
There's not an excuse. You have to know technology. You have to be able to understand or have a desire to understand data. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean I need to go be a coder. It doesn't mean that I need to go be a data analyst. Mm-hmm. It just means that I need to respect and I need to understand the basics so that I can ensure that I'm asking the right questions.
Right.
And I think that's really part of it. It's not so much having all the answers, it's having to know the right questions to ask to get the right answers from the expertise that you have inside your company or externally.
A lot of young people coming into this industry look at you and see you at the pinnacle and chief marketing officer of one of the internet's, one of the world's biggest and best known brands. What advice do you have for them as they begin their careers?
Don't be afraid. Go in, know what you want, make sure that you're focused on doing what's right and doing what's right for you, and don't give up. And if it's hard, it probably means it's right. Get uncomfortable. The best advice that I ever had was, the more uncomfortable you are, the more successful you'll be, because you'll be constantly pushing yourself and you'll be constantly making sure that you're learning and growing and developing. And so my advice is that if it's easy, it probably means it's time to make something new happen.
Thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Really enjoyed the
Appreciate it.
conversation.